Aloha! As the director of the Tropical Conservation Biology and Environmental Science graduate program of the University of Hawaii at Hilo, I am very pleased to welcome you to the Spring 2021 Zoom graduation celebration. This is the second time we have honored our graduates in this way. First, a few housekeeping things. On Zoom, please keep your microphone on mute unless it is your turn to talk. You can leave the video on if you would like. And a shout out goes to TCBS students Andre Nguyen and Rebecca Webster for creating our program for today and the virtual background the graduates will be using. And mahalo to Becky Ostertag for coordinating the graduation lei distribution. Second, following along with the program that was emailed out, we will give all the graduates a round of applause after all the students have been introduced. We also have some special guests with us today. We are pleased that the Chancellor Bonnie Irwin is going to join us. Can you do a brief wave to acknowledge you, and please feel free to speak if you would like.
I'm just very honored to be here. Congratulations to all the graduates, and I'm looking forward to the ceremony. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chancellor. Next up, we have Chris Roney. She's our new Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs. Can you do a brief wave so we can acknowledge you, and feel free to speak if you would like.
Mahalo and aloha. Congratulations, graduates. It is such an honor to be here with you and to celebrate you. This is such a wonderful moment. Congratulations on reaching your goals. This is awesome.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor. Next up, we have Jim Mike. He's our new Dean of College of Natural and Human Sciences. This is the college that TCBS is housed in. Can you do a brief wave so we can acknowledge you, and feel free to speak if you like.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Tracy. Aloha. Congratulations to the graduates. This is the best time of the year, in my opinion. Everybody gets to celebrate and actually see the fruits of your hard-earned labors. And so congratulations, everyone. And thank you, whoever organized this event. This is pretty fantastic.
Thank you, Dean. And last but not least, Malu Dudwa. Malu is a community engagement facilitator, supporting the academic development of Native Hawaiian students through community engagement and culture-based experiences. And he's a lecturer in Hawaiian studies, focusing on Indigenous leadership and environmental kinship curricula through the medium of hula. This teaching includes place-based and culture-based curricula to help students build relationships with the land and native plants of Hawaii. Malu has offered his expertise to TCBS students, particularly those from outside of Hawaii, answering all their questions and inviting them to participate in Kapuka's Mixed Plate Workshop to learn about Hawaiian culture and place. Can you do a brief wave so we can acknowledge you? And please feel free to speak if you would like. Maybe Malu wasn't able to join us. So we'll move on. The next part of the ceremony is the Oli. This Ole is composed by Larry Kimura and Kalena Silva, two faculty at UH Hilo. One of the people graduating this spring, Kaveh Lopez, will lead us in this Ole. The words can be found in your program. We ask that you sing along, but have your microphone on mute. This Oli was composed by two UH Hilo faculty, as I mentioned before. It was inspired one night watching the full moon on a South Kona beach, with a respected elder describing the Hoku Pele Mo, or the full moon that sets just as the sun rises. In the late night sky, a thin ray of light announces the coming of dawn, And as it grows brighter and the sun rises, the moon wanes and slips away. This is a natural phenomena. This natural phenomena reminded Larry about how traditional knowledge was slipping away, generation after generation, like the Hoku Palemo. But that with the rising sun each new day, knowledge from our ancestors and knowledge of today can be ours if we want it to make it better for tomorrow. Take it away, Kaveh.
Kau e ka venau ke au I ka lani, he weke I ka pō pili puka, he elele o ka poni poni kina, kau ke kahe awana au I ka ala papa, la ia nei luna o ke kukulu o ka lanila. O ka uie huli alone I ka ulu ai, ua ue ie. Ho mai la ko malama I ka honua nei I ka mauliola, ua o Hawaii I ke olino nei, mai ka pina ka velona kala. Ka hiko ia I ka ike mano mano, ka ike ko li'u mai o kikilo mai, o ka uno ia o ka pulama, hapa ama ka ipu o ka ike, wow, He mele no Hawaii, wow.
Mahalo, Kaveh, for that wonderful opening ole. Before we begin with the graduates, we want to tell you a little bit more about the TCBS program. The University of Hawaii at Hilo TCBS program's mission is to provide Masters of Science level graduate education that, one, fosters the knowledge of theory and techniques in conservation biology and environmental sciences, including basic, applied, and socio-ecological research. And two, promote scholarly activities in marine and terrestrial environments that will enable participants to pursue careers in research and natural resource management. In the Masters of Science in TCBS, it provides graduate training in conservation biology, environmental science. The program utilizes the extraordinary biological, physical, and cultural complexity on the island of Hawaii as a focus of investigation and study. Graduates of the program are highly successful in obtaining technical positions as scientists, resource managers, educators, and admissions into PhD programs in related fields. The program began in 2004, and we've had 200 graduates since that time. We currently have 45 faculty associated with the program across 4 different colleges. Assuming today's participants complete all their final requirements and graduates from summer and fall 2020, the number of TCBS graduates will grow to 219 today. We also have numerous affiliated faculty, adjunct faculty, and mentors associated with our program. And we want to send out a huge mahalo to those folks. These are professionals who are serving as mentors for student internship projects, on students' thesis committees, teaching classes, giving seminars, and a whole lot of other contributions to our program. A huge debt of gratitude goes to them, and we welcome their continued partnership. I now introduce Becky Ostertag and Lisa Canali, who will speak more about the thesis and professional internship track programs, respectively. Becky?
The thesis track in the TCBS program prepares graduates for technical positions and for entry into PhD programs in related fields. Students conduct original research, guided by a UH Hilo faculty as their advisor. Students form a thesis committee of 3 mentors, sometimes more, who contain expertise on the research topic. Students are required to write a research proposal and defend that proposal before they complete the research. They often research in the amazing environments of Hawaii Island, and most projects contain a mix of field and laboratory research. Our students take advantage of the many shared resources across the UH Hilo campus, including the analytical lab, the spatial data analysis and visualization lab, the core genomics facility, the Pacific Aquaculture and Coastal Research Center, the Listening Observatory for Hawaiian Ecosystems Lab, the Hawaii Cooperative Fishery Unit, and more. Students do defense of their thesis as a public presentation, and you can find these presentations on the TCBS YouTube channel.
Aloha. So in the fall of 2018, we expanded the TCBS program to include a professional master's. And this, the 6 professional master's students here today are our second cohort in this program. We, in the past, the majority of the UH Hilo TCBS students did the thesis track, which they experienced a wonderful, excellent education and research. However, many of them went into natural resource management fields rather than continuing to obtain a doctorate. And that was the catalyst for developing this professional internship track program. The professional internship track program requires a proposal and a 600-hour immersive internship, which is of the benefit of the graduate student to bring forth their career aspirations, but it also is in service to the agency. And so it's mutually beneficial. The professional internship can happen anywhere on Hawaii Island or anywhere in the world. We work with the agencies to develop this, but we start with the graduate students. We ask them, what are your scientific wonderings? What are your drivers? How do you want to contribute to the greater good? And the graduate students then figure out those answers, and we work with the agencies to develop deliverables. At the end of the 600-hour immersive internship, the students write a report, which is housed at the UH repository, Hoku, and they also give a public presentation. These public presentations happened last week, Thursday, and if you're interested, you can visit our YouTube channel to see those. And with that, I am going to hand the microphone back to Tracy.
Now we want to acknowledge each graduate. I'll say the student's name, and then at that time, I invite the student's advisor or mentor to say a few words to introduce them. Note, you're going to hear Lisa Canali's name quite a bit, and that's because she's the advisor for all the professional internship track students. So let's give a big mahalo to Lisa. Woohoo! We then ask the students to respond to a question. The question is, what will you take forward from TCBS as a conservation professional? After answering this question, students will have a chance to say any mahalos that they would like to. Right now, Becky is showing you many of the cohort pictures for students who will be graduating today or who have graduated in the summer or fall of 2022. Each of those individual students have a yellow circle around their head. So we're gonna go in alphabetical order, and our first student up is Joffrey Grumman. He's a professional internship track student, and his advisor is Lisa Canali of UH Hilo TCBES. His internship mentor was Diane Felton, MD, state toxicologist at the Hawaii State Department of Health, Hazards Evaluation and Emergency Response Office.
So Diana could not be with us today, so I am going to read the words that she sent on for us to read on her behalf. So on behalf of the Hawaii Department of Health and Hazard Evaluation and Emergency Response Office and the Hawaii Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Program, I want to congratulate Joffrey on his graduation and extend our heartfelt thanks for a wonderful internship. Joffrey did an amazing job on his project for our organization, and we cannot be more grateful for his dedication, willingness to learn, and hard work on behalf of Hawaii's keiki. Joffrey's project added an essential body of knowledge to our growing understanding of children's environmental health risks in Hawaii, and we will use this knowledge gained going forward to advance our mission to prevent childhood lead poisoning in Hawaii. Thank you, Joffrey. Well done, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. And so to answer the question of what I will take forward as a TCBS from the TCBS program, I think this program has had me step out of my comfort zone just numerous times during these past 2 years. And each of those experiences has led just to huge amounts of growth for me as an academic and as a professional. So if there's one thing that I'll take with me going forward, it's just to keep stepping outside of my comfort zone and embracing those new challenges. And also, I just want to give a big mahalo to my mentors, Diana Felton, Casey Ingalls, Kelly Hoffman, the HERE office, and the entire Hawaii Clip team for taking me under their wing and just making my internship just an incredibly just memorable experience and exceeding my expectations. And I also would like to thank the TCBS program, especially Lisa. Lisa, thank you for all your help, your guidance, and just everything that you've done for us these past 2 years. And finally, I would just like to thank my cohort and all the friends that I've made during my time in this program. You all are amazing people. I'm so grateful that and just happy that I've got to spend this time with you. And I'm just so honored to call you both my friends and my colleagues. Thank you all.
Thank you, Joffrey. Next up is Laura Knight. Laura Knight was on the thesis track. Her advisor is Carla McDermott, UH Hilo Marine Science Department. Carla was unable to be here today. She was very sad about that, but she provided some text for me to read about Laura. Laura Knight has had an interest in marine ecosystems and seaweeds since she was a freshman in Dr. McDermott's marine biology class. She continued to pursue those interests in the TCBS program, and she developed a project to characterize the mesophotic benthic communities in the Northwest Hawaiian Islands, which surprisingly include a lot of seaweeds and macroalgal turfs. In her thesis research, Laura quantified these communities and raised new questions for future study in the mesophotic zone. She has worked long and hard for her master's, and we applaud her on her achievement. Go, Laura!
Thank you for reading that. If I had one thing that I'd gained from TCBS is to never give up. I took a lot longer than a lot of students, but with all of your help, Becky, your help, Tracy, your help, Carla's help, of course, and everyone on my committee, they never gave up on me. So thank you all.
Mahalo, Laura. Next up is Kaveh Lopez. She is a professional internship track student. Her advisor was Lisa Canali, UH Hilo TCBS, and her mentor, Franny Brewer, Communications Director at the Big Island Invasive Species Committee. Franny is unable to be here today, but has invited Molly Murphy from the Big Island Invasive Species Council to introduce Kaveh.
So I'm so proud to be Kavehi's coworker. From when she started with us in 2017, I think that's when she started. It's been a long time. We could always tell that Kavehi was a rising star. Her work ethic is incredible and obvious. And then she completed 2 years of graduate studies while pushing BISC into the digital age, from podcasts to communication plans to professional movies. We couldn't be more proud of the products that Kavehi has produced while doing her internship. So on behalf of BISC, I am so honored to introduce Kavehi. So congratulations, Kavehi. We love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Oh my gosh, you're trying to make me cry already. I'm so honored to be here today alongside all of these amazing graduates. And I just want to thank everybody for being here today on Zoom to watch this really momentous occasion. If there's anything that I could, that I take away from this experience is that I'm capable of doing a lot. Confidence has always been a struggle of mine, and this internship really taught me that if I believe in myself, that I can do great things. With that, I just want to give a huge shout out to Franny, Molly, Jade, Springer, and everybody at BISC for their support over these years. And I'd also like to thank the Ha'oli Maulua Foundation, Kamehameha Schools, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, the Big Island Association of Nurserymen, and the Richard Smart Ohana for financing both of these years through graduate school. Without their financial support, I would have never been able to afford this degree. And lastly, I'd like to thank my fiance, Pila, all of my family and friends, my dog, Hawaka, for being a great support system, and just everybody in the cohort. You know, these are lifelong relationships, and I'm so lucky to have you folks, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds. So mahalo nui.
Mahalo Kavehi. Next up is Sebastian Ma. Sebastian is a professional internship track student. His advisor is Lisa Canali, Hilo TCBES. His mentor is Lisa Miura, Division Head Administrator for the County of Hawaii, Department of Finance, Real Property Tax Division. And Becky Ostertag will introduce Sebastian.
So happy to introduce Sebastian and that he's made it to this day. I worked on the project as part of the team. And first I met Sebastian when he was an undergraduate. He did the pipes internship over the summer. He also took my conservation biology class. And in that class, I require students to do a weekly journal about what they're observing on conservation, what we're learning in class, really anything that any outside reading that they've done to put together their ideas. And Sebastian's journal kind of blew me away because he was so thoughtful. And, you know, unlike some of the students that just did it really quickly, you could see that for everything he wrote, he thought long and hard and deep, and that he was starting on this new intellectual journey. And I was so happy when he decided to continue that intellectual journey to go on to graduate school and get his master's in our program. And I got involved in this program with the County of Hawaii to give tax incentives for people doing forest restoration, as well as dedicate native forests that already exist, and needed somebody to really pull in and do some implementation work to really make the program successful. And Sebastian stepped in and has done an amazing job. He's added so much more than we could have ever thought. He's created some really helpful products that are going to help the program move forward and be a big step for Hawaii Island. And he's done a fantastic job. And I'm so happy that I've gotten the experience to work with him, and he's one of the kindest, nicest people that you're going to meet. He's definitely one of the nicest people on this island, and I'm just really happy to have had this chance to work with him. So I'll bring you Sebastian.
Mahalo nui for that beautiful introduction, Rebecca. That really means a lot, so thank you. I spent a lot of time reflecting on this question about what I would take forward with me as a TCBES graduate. And while a lot of things came to mind, one of the biggest things for me is just acting and presenting myself as a selfless scientist, and moving forward and doing things in my community, in the UH Hilo system, and wherever I may be, with a humble servant attitude, you know, and doing whatever I can to use the knowledge and the skills that I've developed over my educational journey in the TCBES program to give back to the communities that have helped me become who I am today. And with that, I just want to say that I'm truly humbled to be here in front of you. My journey can be attributed to the many people who have helped me get to where I am. Lisa Canali and Dr. Rebecca Ostertag, you know, I wholeheartedly thank you for the hours and hours of support you've invested in me. You know, I can't thank you enough. I'd like to thank the Hau'oli Maoloa Foundation for the funding to help me go through graduate school. I can honestly say that without you guys, I probably wouldn't be here today. I'd like to thank the people that I worked with over the past couple of years on that project Becky was talking about. People at the Real Property Tax Division, Leslie Cole Brooks and Susan Cordell. I would also like to thank my cohort. You know, they're also a huge part of the support system that helped me get through graduate school. And lastly, I'd like to thank my family and friends for always inspiring me to do more than I thought that I was capable of doing. So with that, I just want to thank you all for being here and for giving me this opportunity to share. Mahalo.
Thank you, Sebastian. Next up, we have Koa Matsuoka. He is thesis track. His advisor is Becky Ostertag, UH Hilo Biology Department, and Becky will introduce Koa.
Koa is another student that I got to meet when he was an undergraduate at UH Manoa. He came and was a pipe student with us, worked with us on a summer project. I think it was 2011. And he got right in there. We were working on the Kona side in Kaveh forest, and not the easiest or most glamorous of field work. Koa had to learn some new equipment, and he was one of those students that really, we saw this tremendous improvement through the whole summer, and really did an awesome final presentation where it all came together. So I was very excited when a few years later, after he'd done a bunch of traveling and spent time in the Northwest Hawaiian Islands and had a whole bunch of experiences, he came back and said he wanted to come to grad school. I was really happy to work with him again. And it's been a really good experience with Koa. I think Koa always has lots of questions, lots of soul searching to do whenever we talk. And he's really pulled a lot of things together and really synthesized. And one of the things about Koa is that, and I'm not the only one that recognizes this, a lot of other people recognize this. So Koa kept getting jobs before he graduated. Hey, Koa, can you do this little short stint and go to Maui and work on this project with us? Koa, can you do this on Palila and Mauna Kea? And so he was very busy. He got his current job with DLNR before finishing as well. And he's been working on policy for the state regarding the Endangered Species Act. And he's doing great at that. And I was very honored a few weeks ago. Koa was in Hilo and he came to talk to my conservation biology class and told them about what he's doing with the state and the state rules and regulations. So he's already given back in many ways. And it's just been a fantastic journey to see Koa mature and change and learn all these new skills and new things and see how he's put it all together. So congratulations, Koa.
Well, thank you, Becky. That was awesome. To answer the question, what I will take with me from TCBS, I think going through the program, I got a well-rounded skill set for doing conservation in Hawaii. As Becky said, I'm currently working for the state. I'm an armchair biologist, but TCBS gave me a comprehensive knowledge of how things work in the field, through budgeting and policy and all these other things. TCBS also opened up a ton of opportunities for great life experiences and employment. Through all the networking I was able to do in the program. Also take with me the community I gained through TCBS. Hopefully we can all pull together and make impactful strides to stop extinction in Halamaina. I want to thank my mom and dad, my fiance Kenori, my mentors Becky Ostertag, Bryce Masuda, Pat Hart, Stephanie Yelnick, and Kale. My dogs, my former dog Lily Kawasaki, and my current dog Hina for the support. All my friends in Hilo, the 2017 cohort. Oh, that was a long time ago. And all the people who helped me collect data, and the Ho'oli Maloa Foundation for giving me the opportunity to do this and to get my master's degree. So, mahalo.
Thank you, Koa. Next up, we have Sarah Jean Norbum. She is a professional internship track student. Her advisor is Lisa Canali, Hilo TCBES. Her mentor is Tamara Enns, Habitat Assessment and Monitoring Coordinator, Tillamook Estuaries Partnership. Lisa Canali will introduce her.
Aloha, everyone. It is my great honor to introduce Sarah to you all. Sarah came to the TCBES program with an interest in marine conservation and coastal management, and that's what she focused her studies on. She's been a marvelous student. She's been active as a volunteer even during these times of COVID, and she focused her professional internship on this. She has, within her professional internship with Tamara, she gained firsthand knowledge about and on-the-job experience about planning and implementing and the management of coastal marine and watershed resources. And she dove headfirst into taking on loads and loads of data and basically bringing the agency into the world of geospatial information. So I really can't say enough about what a wonderful person Sarah is, and it's been so lovely to work with her for these past 2 years. With that, I'd like to have you all join me in welcoming her to the microphone.
Mahalo, Lisa, for that introduction. Well, to answer the question, there are so many things that I will take forward with me that the TCBES program gave me the past 2 years that I could apply not only in my profession, but also in my personal life. And one of those things I'll take from the program are the skills to build a community and listening to how to best serve that community as we work together to reach mutual beneficial conservation goals. I will take the skills of communication and the ability to communicate science to a variety of audiences on various platforms. This program gave me so many things. So I want to give a big mahalo nui to everyone in the TCBES program, especially to my advisor, Lisa Canelli, who taught us the importance of following our curiosity and how to be an effective communicator. I want to thank everyone in my cohort. From day one at orientation, everyone has been so kind and welcoming. I want to thank each of you for the laughs, the support, and wonderful memories you each provided. My hope is to see each of you succeed in whatever passions you decide to follow. I want to thank my mentor organization, Tillamook Estuary Partnership, and Tamara Enns for the opportunity they gave me. And then I would like to thank my family and friends who have always supported me. I particularly would like to thank my mom, Shauna, and my dad, Clayton, for being my first teachers on what it means to be a steward to the environment. And I would also like to thank my parents, my brother Ryan and my sister-in-law Brandy, for the love they give and the support they provided so I could follow my passion. Mahalo nui, everyone.
Mahalo, Sarah. So just a little note, I guess the power went out on UH Hilo campus. So I've taken over. Becky sent me a secret message. So next up, we have Sabina. Sabina Siddiqui. She is thesis track. Her advisor is Adam Pack, UH Hilo Psychology and Biology Department. Adam Pack will introduce Sabina.
Thank you, Tracy. Can you hear me? Okay. Aloha kako, everyone. I'm delighted to be here to recognize several outstanding students, the first of which is Sabina Siddiqui. In 2014, while I was on sabbatical at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, I was giving a seminar, which is required of everybody who is a visiting scientist at Woods Hole in the evening, to a large community. And there I met this young woman who came right up to me and asked me if she could have coffee with me the next day to discuss the possibilities of graduate school. And that was Sabina. She was at Woods Hole in that same year creating a catalog of non-song calls by feeding humpback whales. And that's where in the North Atlantic, and that's where our paths crossed. Shortly thereafter, she joined TCBES, and she also joined our UH Hilo Marine Mammal Laboratory. And she had amassed before and while she was a student an impressive array of other endeavors that she was doing, such as being a board member of the American Cetacean Society, founder of their student coalition, and representative to the International Whaling Commission. She also helped spearhead our student chapter of the American Cetacean Society here at UH Hilo. She edited the first American Cetacean Society publication highlighting women scientists in cetology. And through all of that, which wasn't, when I think about it, it sounds pretty daunting to me, we were able to venture into the field in Maui, studying humpback whale song and non-song sounds over several years, and even having the opportunity of participating in a couple of PBS documentaries that filmed our work. Sabina was really interested in non-song sounds, vocalizations of humpback whales, and obviously this was generated early on from her work at Woods Hole for NOAA. And I gave her the task of taking a 10-year archive that we had amassed of non-song vocalizations, which were embedded in tons of underwater video of humpback whales off of Maui and all these different pod types. And to create order out of that and to analyze the entire archive to look for interesting differences, regularities, and to build the first non-song call catalog of vocalizations in Hawaii. She did an outstanding job with that. It was, like I said, it was a daunting task. And in 2019, right before COVID hit, she and I ventured to Barcelona, and where she was honored to give a talk on a portion of her thesis results. And those results she defended just about a month and a half ago, and she did a great job. She has helped manage the undergraduates in my marine mammal laboratory over the years and done lots of outreach. And I couldn't have been more happy to have her as a student, and I'm excited to see what her future holds as she moves forward. So congratulations, Sabina, and this is an honor well deserved.
Is my video working? Hi,
You're
can
good.
someone confirm you can hear me?
You're good. You're good.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you so much, Adam, for that introduction and congratulations. I've learned so much in this program. As a conservation professional, I think the most valuable lesson I've learned here at Hilo and in the TCBES program is the value of culture within science and the human dimension of conservation. As Adam mentioned, I've helped manage a pack marine mammal lab along with fellow student Trisha Alvarez, and I've seen how much fun and more productive science can be with teamwork through a vibrant lab culture. And we all work together in there with the common goal of marine mammal science. And I've seen the same fun and vibrant culture in the Lohi lab. And I think this plays a role in how successful that lab can be in terms of the science and student success. So while lab culture is important, being at an Indigenous serving institution in Hawaii has given me the opportunity to learn about how conservation science should serve the people. And I think with my education here, I'm forever changed, and I'm excited to begin my PhD at Oregon State University in the fall to study Arctic whales. And with this new commitment to decolonization in academia and with an outlook that centers people as a conservation professional. And then I'd like to say a few thank yous. I'm thankful to the TCBS program and my comrades in this graduate program. I've made some amazing friendships, especially like to shout out Renee Corpus and Trisha Alvarez. I'll carry your friendships with me. And I'm also very thankful to the Crest Fellowship for funding me. Without that, I wouldn't have been able to do the program. And it also gave me the opportunity to travel and attend workshops that helped me a lot with my project. And I'd like to thank my sister for being a constant cheerleader, and my partner, Noel, who has provided me with an indescribable amount of support. And also mahalo to my committee members, Doctors Pat Hart and Allison Stemper, for their guidance and expertise on my project. And finally, I'd like to thank my advisor, Dr. Adam Pack, for helping me grow as a scientist in terms of field work, in terms of writing and science communication, scientific thought and reasoning and project design, and for your great mentorship and support through the program and my project. Thank you.
Mahalo, Sabina. Next up is Hillary Street Scott. She is thesis track. Adam Pack is her advisor, Hilo Psychology and Biology Department. Adam will introduce Hillary.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm so happy to introduce Hillary to you. I first met Hillary Street Scott when Don Price, who used to be in our biology department, brought her around right to my door at my office years ago and introduced this young woman who was so passionate about marine mammals and about humpback whales. And I was really just impressed with her poise and confidence and her incredibly deep interest in getting involved right away. So I first met Hillary back in 2015 as an aspiring graduate student in our program. She had graduated with honors from the University of Miami's Rosenstiel School of Marine and Atmospheric Science with degrees in marine science and biology. Her passion for marine science and marine mammals in particular was obvious to me, and it had begun when she was just 3 years old. And that passion has driven her educational and career path ever since, which is obvious to anybody who's met Hillary. And given all of this, I was thrilled to take her on as a student and also have her in our marine mammal laboratory at Hilo. Together, we ventured to Maui also, and Hillary's thesis was launching us into a new area of humpback whale genetics as related to genetic diversity and also whale health. And Hillary really took a lead in this process, and I couldn't have done it without her, frankly. Every evening she was there to process all these genetic samples, biopsy samples that we had obtained the day prior. She was also an excellent team member in that her thesis was a part of a much larger project, which involved a graduate PhD student from Manoa looking at humpback whale acoustics, song that we were doing, all sorts of different research projects. And because biopsy sampling was the very last thing we do with the whales, she had to be patient. And then once we got the samples, she was off and running. She also was helping with all the other aspects of the project, including photo IDs of the lab, of the whales, collecting behavioral data, and a slew of other things. And once all that data collection was POW, then she was working with Jolene Sutton in the laboratory at Hilo and processing all those genetic samples and learning a ton about humpback whales, which is, like I said, propelled us into a new avenue of humpback whale genetics. Amazingly, while earning her master's degree, Hillary also held a number of other positions, such as teaching undergraduate biology, ecology, and marine science at labs at Hilo, working as a boat crew on sailing and lava boat tours, teaching CPR and basic life support across the main Hawaiian Islands, and working full-time as a special education math teacher, and having a family on top of all of that, and which is just amazing to me. Hillary has been a shining light in our lab, and I am thrilled to congratulate her on this great achievement, and I look forward to her future endeavors as well. So congratulations, Hillary. We're really proud of you.
Thanks, Adam. I'm very happy to finally get to this point. Echoing some other students, my path through this program has definitely not been the direct or traditional one that I had anticipated when I first started. And I definitely wouldn't have made it this far without a lot of supports, both from my committee members and also from my family and my friends. My family, my husband, my daughter being not just my support, but also my motivation to get this far. So thank you to all of those folks. And the things that I'll take away from this program, one of the big ones is being able to find the help that you need, reaching out for the support and finding the resources when you don't know the answer. And also just being flexible and resilient. You can be as meticulous in the lab as possible. You can think that you've planned for every contingency, and without fail, something's going to come up that was unexpected. So being willing to persevere through those challenges and get the work done is definitely something I'll carry forward in my profession. Thank you.
Mahalo, Hillary. Next up, we have Brian Tonga. So Brian Tonga is a thesis track. His advisors was myself and Dr. Carla McDermott, Hilo Marine Science Department. I'm gonna be speaking as Brian's advisor, and I'll also be speaking for Brian. Brian was from an atoll in Kapagarangi, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, Pohnpei, Federated States of Micronesia. It's a small atoll very close to the equator. He came to Hawaii in 2015 to attend the University of Hawaii at Hilo. He earned his Bachelor's of Arts degree from the Marine Science Department in 2017. Brian enrolled in the TCBES program in 2018. During his time at Hilo, Brian was a student assistant in the Hilo Analytical Lab and an active member of the International Students Association. For his thesis research, Brian conducted the first comprehensive water quality study for Pohnpei. Brian passed away in August. His degree is being awarded posthumously. I will now do my best to answer the question how I think Brian's, based on what I know about Brian and his legacy in conservation. I didn't really realize how extensive it was until last August. Brian had touched the lives of so many students, and he inspired them sorry, I do have the Kleenex close by. He inspired them to attend Hilo as undergraduate and graduate students. I think we will continue to see many of the students he influenced coming through our doors and receiving an education at Hilo because of him. In fact, we had 2 students in this year's TCBS cohort who began the program because of him. All these students will go on to do good for our environment. And in part, it will be because of Brian's influence. Now for the many mahalos to the people who helped Brian. First, his family, friends, and teachers, and the many people who helped Brian conduct his research in Pompeii. Note, he went there on his own. Neither Carla or I was there. He would send us emails when he needed some advice, but he did this all on his own. But there were many people in Pompeii who helped him make it possible. And they include Pompeii Environmental Protection Agency, the National Food Safety Laboratory of Pompeii, the Conservation Society of Pompeii, and the Natural Resource Conservation Service. The LSAMP program not only supported his research financially, but also supported a summer intern, Wainhart Celestine, and the Pacific Island Climate Adaptation Science Center also supported his research through Sharon Ziegler-Chong and Scott Larson. I do miss Brian every day, but it's through the students that he inspired at Hilo that he continues to be with us. We also have several graduates who were not able to join us today, so I would just like to acknowledge them. We're going to start with spring 2021 graduates. We have Jordan Anderson. She's professional internship track. Her advisor is Lisa Canali, Hilo TCBES. And her mentors were Carla McDermott, Hilo Marine Science, and Keely Martin of Ocean Era Algae. Also part of this cohort is Carmelita Villalobos. She's of the professional internship track. Her advisor is Lisa Canali of Hilo TCBES. And her mentor is Lauren Van Hukelum, Kiola. We also have graduates, oh, sorry, oops, forgot one here. This is Brett Mossman. He is of the thesis track. His advisor is Dr. Pat Hart of Hilo Biology. We also have several graduates that graduated in the fall of 2020. This includes Wilson Malone. He was the professional internship track. His advisor, Lisa Canali. His mentor was Robert Beach, fishery biologist of Division of Sport Fish, Alaska Department of Fish and Game. Kelsey Meager was professional internship track. Her advisor, Lisa Canali. Her mentor, Lauren Kerpita, former coordinator of the Hawaii Island Hawksbill Project. We also have Keena Newton, a professional internship track. Lisa Canali is her advisor. Her mentor is Dr. Shana Sim, USDA Agricultural Service. We have Jasmine Pinello, thesis track. I was her advisor. Jeremy Schrader, professional internship track, advisor Lisa Canali. Mentor Dr. Jolene Sutton, formerly Hilo Associate Professor of the Department of Biology. Then we have graduates from summer of 2020. Martha Kawasaki, thesis track. Dr. Pat Hart of Hilo Biology was her advisor. We have Jake Rodriguez, thesis track. His advisor was Norman Erickon, Hilo College of Agriculture and Natural Resource Management. And then finally, Dominique Zarders, thesis track. Her advisor was Jesse Iben, former Hilo College of Agriculture and Natural Resource Management faculty member. So congratulations to all of you. Woo-hoo! If we were in person, we would have proudly been hooding you at this moment as acknowledgement of your hard work and excellent scholarship, and especially perseverance during these incredible conditions that we've been living under the last year. If you are wearing a cap and tassel, please move the tassel on your mortar and board from right to left. If you don't have a cap, you can mime it. Congratulations, TCBS students of 2021. Audience, you may now unmute yourself, cheer and clap.
Woo! Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Very
Siddiqui.
good.
Yay.
Again, mahalo to all.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. Mahalo to all of you, of our graduates, the family, our distinguished guests. We are so proud of all of you. Mahalo for coming. And this concludes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
This concludes the second Zoom graduation celebration for TCBS.
Congratulations, everybody.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Master.
Especially Kaveh Lopez. Congratulations.
Love you, Molly. Thank you.
Especially Kaveh.
Yeah, you know I love you forever and always.
Congratulations, everyone.
Mahalo, Becky.
Mahalo.